Hi, I'm Ali and a warm welcome to the Ceramic Repair Studio. So today I'm going to actually apply some milliput here to fill the cracks in from this beautiful Chinese 18th century vase, I think it is. And in my previous videos I have actually cleaned it, broken it apart, taken away some of the glue, and in the last video I actually glued back together the pieces here. Now I can see here there are a few cracks and a few shards and a few missing pieces, so we're going to fill those in. Now I do use a product called Milliput, and I would just like to say that no, I'm not sponsored, but I do use it and I find it's just very useful. If you can find anything, if you're using something which you think is better, please leave a message in the comment section. I'd love to hear. But I'm going to use the silver grey, and this does come in various colours. If you've seen my previous videos, I do love superfine white. I think it's the best of the colours for actually sanding, but the silver grey is a very good colour if you've got Chinese porcelain. So it comes in 2 packets, and so what we do is we just take, won't need too much, just a little amount from the blue packet, and then just make sure you wrap that back up. And I like to actually make it into a ball shape. This way I can see roughly if it's going to be the same size as the next part in the packet. So if we get to the next packet, and this is sort of more of a grey colour, and this always tends to be a bit softer. And I would just make again another ball shape, and then just to make sure, no, that's too small. I'll keep going. And once you think you've got this size, take a tiny bit off that, you can combine them together. Again, make sure that both packets are nicely put back. Right, so we want to combine it. Now, you want it to feel like blue tack in the fingers by the time it's combined. And the fact that it's 2 slightly different tones, it's really easy to tell when it's combined. If it's not combined properly, it will not set and it will remain actually soft. So you want to make sure that it is one even colour. While I'm doing this, I just want to show you, I do actually make discs, as you can see from here. So every time I use some milliput, I will make a disc, and so when it dries, for instance, this is the same colour, you can literally go against to make sure if it's the right tone. I also have, for instance, the terracotta and the white and a turquoise and black, but they're good, they're quite useful to do, to have these small discs, so when you do have a piece you can just, you know, place it against to make sure it's roughly the colour you want with milliput. So just a little bit more here. Now when I'm doing this, I have got an implement I'm using, which is, if you can see, it's flat on one side here and it's got a slight curvature here. To be honest, I never use this side, I always use the flat side, and that would be great for just applying into the cracks. Now if you don't have something such as this, you can use a very small palette knife, although they tend to be rather large, or even better, a cocktail stick, but obviously they do tend to snap if you're too heavy-handed. Right, so this is well and truly combined now, and you can see it's all the same colour. As I say, it feels like blue tack. It's nice and soft in the hands, so in the fingers, so you know it's going to apply well. So what I'm going to do is just take a tiny amount here, and then I'll look to see where my crack is, and I will just slightly work it across. You don't want to be too heavy-handed on this, because where the break is at quite a vulnerable part, and so we don't want to be re-breaking. Now milliput takes around 24 hours to dry. Obviously the finer, you know, the smaller amount of milliputs we actually place, the quicker it will actually dry. But I do like to leave it a good 48 hours before I start to sand. And then I can see we've got, you can see here sort of a larger crack there, so you just want to go in and keep working along. You want good lighting at this point, so you want to be able to see where any cracks are and where you're applying. Now when you're applying the milliput, you want it to slightly protrude. You don't want it to be completely flat with the original surface, so there's some wiggle room for sanding. But as I say, I think this colour is such a great colour, with the silver grey with Chinese porcelain. I just wish they'd make it in gold, because it would be amazing. That really would make kintsugi easy when you want to do something in gold. But they do have other colours. Right, so as you can see, it's just about see it here, because it's such a good close colour and fit. Now this part here, I've got 3 pieces here, as I say, and they're very delicate. And where this was previously broken and glued back before, it's missing quite a lot of sort of shards from the end here, so those definitely need to be filled in. Now I do find if I'm given pieces which have had a fresh clean break and have never been glued before, I do find they're so much easier to repair, because you tend to have more in place. There's no pieces missing, any shards. Whereas if something has been previously damaged and somebody else has fixed it, and it's broken again, you tend to find there's lots of more missing, very small tiny shards. And also it just makes it harder for it to to stay on. With the glue sets a lot better and a lot tighter if it hasn't already previously been fixed, because obviously you're not compromising your item. Now I'm just slightly going over very gently. As I say, you don't need too much. And then the next process will be sanding. Now I'm just going to show you the top part today, and then you don't want to apply too much either. If you apply too much, you just end up with a lot more work for yourself when it's dried and when it's sanded. So you just want to apply just a little bit, enough to cover just a little bit over. And then we've got a tiny bit to go here. I have to place it on with a finger. Also, when you're doing this, make sure that your fingers are really clean, so you don't transfer any dirt into any cracks, because once any dirt is into a crack, it's very hard for it to come out. Right, quite happy with that. Just want to have a look here. I can see this got a little nick here, so I'm just going to take a little bit of this as well and just do a tiny nick. So again, just add a tiny little piece. You see it on there, and then I'm just going to sort of place it with my finger. If you want to, you can actually then take just a tiny bit of water and just dab your finger in, and then I like to just smooth out just a little bit of the milliput. Okay, just smooth it out. And then I will leave this, as I say, for around 24 hours, 48 hours. The longer, the better. And then it will be ready for sanding. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. I do have other videos on how to use milliput, how to glue and repair ceramics and porcelain. Again, if you haven't subscribed, I would love you to subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and also a thumbs up really does help with the algorithm. And I really look forward to seeing you in the next one. Okay, bye.